Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Happy Thursday, guys. We are coming into the end of the week. Not quite, but it seems we do have a little bit of drama this morning with Citron Research shorting MicroStrategy publicly, causing a little bit of a lower time frame dump. We're going to talk about all of that and then some. But first, guys, I'm Tommy. You also know me as Snorlax. I am joined by a near full panel today, Max, Tucker, Louie, and also a longtime Market Check enjoyer, Pitvox. Welcome on. We're going to let him share charts, his thoughts on the market, of course, as well. We're going to have a great show today. But before we can do all of that, before we can get into Citron Research, before we can get into the ETH candle, I mean, we have to talk about ETH today, right? You guys know what I'm going to ask you. Please smash, slam, destroy that like button, whatever you need to do, because you have been absolutely crushing it this week. We are breaking records, Market Check records, that is, for like button totals in a single week. I would guess we've probably already broken the weekly record, and we haven't even gotten Thursday's numbers yet. But let's make it so definitive that there is no doubt, guys. Keep smashing that like button for us. I don't want to have to look at soybeans, especially on a day where we have a guest for you all. But let's get into the markets, guys. I kind of outlined a few of the things that have occurred over the last 24 hours. Some of the most notable, though, I mean, Bitcoin came up and almost touched 100K. We are so close to six-figure Bitcoin. I think we're about what, like 1.5.
We were like at 98.5 last night. I'm pretty sure. Like
we were exactly about 1.8% off. I mean, guys, come on now.
We are last night less than 2% away from. I mean, it almost kind of feels like we've been anticipating it so much over the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's kind of taken a little bit of the luster away from it, but I don't want it to.
Because it's been years, Tommy. It's been years.
It has been years. A six-figure Bitcoin. I can't even believe that that's going to be a real thing, or I don't want to jinx it right before it happens, but it definitely seems like it's finally going to be happening. A reality, a six-figure Bitcoin. Of course, somebody had to come in this morning and say, yeah, we're shorting MicroStrategy. Got a little bit of a lower time frame sell-off that from the looks of it is already being eaten back up. And of course, who could forget, especially, I mean, I'm talking about Bitcoin, but ETH is the one who made the biggest move overnight. Kobe said, I think on Twitter, ETH should probably double soon. And just like that, stacked bids on ETH that immediately pumped 8 to 10%. What can you do, right? Study the people who really move this market. Am I right? But ETH is showing that strength that we were kind of talking about here over the last few episodes of the show. Or kind of like reviving that strength. Will this be the generational ETH Bitcoin bottom? I'm sure that's something that we will continue to discuss and debate. But the bottom line is that Bitcoin is almost at 100K. ETH is threatening to break out above the supply levels of late July that obviously capped price and caused that huge inefficient dump candle lower in August. But I mean, big contextual levels for majors. Solana, who can forget Solana as well? I mean, I shouldn't be, because the chart looks incredibly strong. And as we might discuss today, I think Solana looks a lot like the MSTR chart. So that's pretty likely that we see Solana go higher as well. I think the overall landscape for majors is incredibly positive, even though we've kind of had a bit of a liquidity drain on some higher beta names throughout this week. The projection, in my opinion, over the next few months, based on what we're seeing from majors, is overwhelmingly positive. But I want to go ahead and open the floor, guys. Interesting last 12 to 16 hours, I guess, with ETH pumping with Citron Research. Some people view Citron as a total fade. I am one of them, so I'm sure we'll discuss that as well. But how are you guys doing? What are you seeing in the markets? Any thoughts on our recent developments throughout markets, of course? And how's everybody? How's everybody doing?
Yeah. Well, okay. Look. Okay, listen. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. And if you have kids in the room, then have them cover their ears. Okay. But someone here has to say it like it is. And I've said it before, and I'm going to do it again. If you want to be bearish, fuck you. You want a short MicroStrategy, fuck you. Go somewhere else with your stupid bias. Okay. You've been wrong forever. We are just heating up. Congratulations. You fudded some people after like a face ripper, and you probably tried before and it didn't work. And now you're just like revenge shorting. Like, why would you come out and say that? Like, what are you? I mean, unless it's like a hidden, unless it's like a little hidden agenda where they're like trying to FUD it down to get filled on some bids, the Ponzi goes on, brother. You don't understand. This is potentially the greatest Ponzi that TradFi has ever seen, and you want to short it right as it's starting to break out? I mean, it hasn't even gone like crazy yet. I mean, this isn't crazy. Like, if you were to pull up the monthly on MicroStrategy, it's like, that's not crazy yet. Crazy is going to be like, a $5,000 MicroStrategy or something like that. The human mind just has a tough time wrapping its mind around the idea of a logarithmic multi-month pump. And you don't have a better Ponzi artist than Michael Saylor. This thing is going higher. So it's like, why would you come out, be like, I'm shorting? It's like this big macho, like bravado. Oh, I'm going to be the one to short it. Ha ha. I know more than you. No, you don't. You get your face ripped off. You could have made
more. They were shorting Max. They were shorting ETH at the Schmeeko bottom. Okay.
Dude, they're clowns. You could have literally just long MicroStrategy and been bullish with the boys and had a good time, but instead you waited for it to pump and be like, I'm gonna short it. Dude, give me a
Max. Isn't it the same when people are trying to like call the top every fucking $10K?
Dude, they're just sideline copers, man. They're just not serious.
Like they just trying to win the engagement cloud, and that they know that each cycle there were people that are still relevant to today who have been trying to call the top all the way from the COVID bottom, and they did it until it worked, and then people praised them. So that's why they keep on doing it, likely.
It's a weird fetish for people to like be obsessed with trying to call the top of a Bitcoin rally. It's a weird psychological fixation that they just can't stop trying to call the top. It's crazy to me. Anyways,
Max, do you remember that ETH? Like, when we joke about ETH candles, the 5-minute ones where it just like gaps 200 or 300 points up from short liquidations. Do you remember the one in 2022? It was around the time of the merge trade when ETH just randomly on a Saturday gapped up like 300 or 400 points.
Yeah, I mean, vaguely, yes.
I'm pretty sure that was Sean getting liquidated.
You're like Wabi with the memory of the charts like that. You're like Wabi.
Yeah. No, I remember most of the ETH squeezes because it's like every few months ETH will gap like 500 points in 10 minutes, So it's like they stick with you, especially when you've been, turbo cucked by being a spot ETH holder for 3.5 years. You certainly remember those days. They stand out a little bit more. What are you working on here, Tucker? What is
Tommy pointed this out before we started. He said, look at MicroStrategy. It's literally Sol. And I mean, I see
it's a valid point. It's a valid point.
It's literally Solana after just breaking out, though. So, I mean, MicroStrategy went 413%. For Sol, that would be $560. So, I mean, we're just in that and extrapolating MicroStrategy to Sol in terms of percentage gains is probably not, going to be super accurate. But the point remains, it's just a parabolic environment you're entering. Right, like look at this. This is like mid/pre-parabola. Parabola. Of course. I mean, it looks insane. So,
like, why would you, as a man, look at that chart and go, "Time to short it"? We got 8 months of demand built below us, and we're pressing all-time highs. Time to get bearish.
One thing I'm interested for this cycle is to see like if MicroStrategy tops first before BTC. Because if we actually study the 2021 cycle, MicroStrategy topped in early February, while Bitcoin topped in half of April, so 2 months later. And I wonder if it's the same. So far this cycle, if we can take March as a good example, because I think it was like a first major sort of like local top, right? Local pause.
Ooh, wait,
Then
Jackus, this is even better,
The
right?
divergence.
Yeah, the divergence,
yeah,
because Bitcoin put in a higher high. That's probably maybe signal, actually. Well,
maybe.
I don't know if we're gonna have a double top though, so we'll see.
I saw a great point today that, or really over the last few days, I've been trying to understand MicroStrategy's whole game plan a little bit better. It's basically representative of, I mean, the premium that they hold over their assets is effectively representative of they're going to be the bridge between crypto or Bitcoin specifically and TradFi. So the premium is probably only going to go away as more TradFi entities enter the market and try to gain market share. And I think the genius of it, though, is Michael Saylor has kind of priced a lot of these entities out. And for them to gain enough percentage of the supply to be able to kind of crush that premium, I mean, they're going to have to buy a lot of Bitcoin, which will inherently pump Michael Saylor's bags. So
It's the greatest circular
a lot
Ponzi of all
crazier.
time, Tommy.
The
It's
flywheel will be studied.
It is unbelievable, man. And I don't know how it ends, but I'm enjoying watching it happen in real time. Okay, let's do this. So we have a guest on today.
We do
named
indeed.
Pitvox. Okay. His name is Pitvox. He's a market check enjoyer like yourselves. He says he tunes in to almost every show. He knows all the guys. He knows all of you guys. All right. He even knows Shine. All right. He even knows Shine. So Pitvox has developed a friendship with Tucker, and I believe also mutuals with Tommy on X. I can't say I've ever spoken with him, but I'm looking forward to doing so today. The link to his X account is down in the description below. If at any point you feel like following him and he's cooking for you, rumor has it he's got some good alpha. All right. So Pitvox, welcome to the show. Thrilled that you're here. Thrilled that you've gone from market check enjoyer to actually coming on the show. That's pretty awesome, man. So maybe you could start by just telling us just a little bit about who you are. Who are you? How'd you get into trading? What do you focus on? Give us the rundown.
Hey Max, hey everyone. Thanks for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here today. Just like you said, I'm a regular market check enjoyer. I also tune into Wabi's show in the afternoon every day. I've been trading markets for the past 4 to 5 years. I began trading crypto just after the COVID Black Swan on 2020, and I actually I quitted my normie job in January of this year. I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for 6 years, practicing down here. I live in South America, so I've been a full-time trader and trying to become somewhat of a streamer for the past 12 months or so. And I like traditional technical analysis. That's my way of trading. I usually go for high time frames. I don't usually go lower than the daily. I usually try to rely on the daily and the 3-day time frame. And today I'll be the embarrassed Benjamin Cohen. Today I'll be shilling altcoins and basically others outperforming BTC for the rest of this year and eventually the half of next year. That's my whole purpose here today. Try to, I don't know, give a little bit back of what I've received from you guys for the past 10 months plus. It's been quite the journey also to see you guys grow. I think it's pretty rad. I saw your Pepe trade way back in March, Max. I saw everything. I basically, when I quit my job in January, I was trying to find for some new channels, and I was looking on X Spaces. And I tune into some couple of Wabi spaces, and I fell immediately. I don't know. I would say in love, but I love your channel, guys. I heard Tucker talking about TA. BTC was at 40K back then. There was a lot of bears in the timeline. And I said, like, oh my God, these are the guys that I want to ride this bull market with. And ever since, you've become my favorite channel. So I hope to give a little bit back today.
Well, thank you so much for the kind words. Thanks for being a long, I mean, sounds like for a really long time, a really long-term, long-time supporter of what we're building here. It's really cool. It's heartwarming to know that we're making an impact with people, because that's like ultimately what it's about, right? We all love doing this, hanging out. We started finally making money from this as of recently, but I mean, for the longest time, we just showed up every day because we loved it, you know, and we still operate that way. So thank you for being a supporter of ours. It really means a lot. So someone says paid actor. Yeah, we did hire him to
paid actor.
We did hire him to come on and flatter us. That's his,
yeah.
They figured us out, guys. They figured us out.
Well,
all right,
have you ever seen Jackass and Pitvox in the same room at the same time?
Oh,
just gonna
all
say
right.
that.
So Pitvox, you look to be a harmonics enjoyer. Am I picking that up correctly? You are a, what is it, bullish Gartley or whatever they're called? I don't know anything about these. I wish I can't have a high level conversation with you about this because I have never once drawn a harmonic myself, but I follow a couple guys who I will say do them incredibly well. And I find some signal in seeing other people set up. So
Max,
what are we looking at, right? Yeah.
Before Pitvox starts cooking, did you see that harmonic I used to call the soul top before the August drop? Do you remember that one?
I probably saw it, but I don't remember it, if I'm being honest. Because I see a lot of your charts, you know. It's like I see your charts every day, but
it was.
I'm sure I saw it.
You had to. I was sharing it quite a lot right here on this day, so it's definitely helpful to your analysis.
I remember that.
So
yeah, and I know they work because it's fibs, right? At the end of the day, it uses Fibonacci, which is
no. Harmonics are just Giga Chad Elliott waves. Okay, they're just Elliott waves.
They're not Elliott.
No, I know they're not.
They?
Yeah, they're fibs, but they're just better than, you know. They're like better.
Well, Elliott fades are at the bottom of the
at the very very bottom. They're like a fibbed out, upgraded Elliott wave.
Okay, bro. Here's the deal. I do not fade Jackass. It's the opposite. I usually tail Jackass with most of what he's doing. I gain a ton of signal. I do not fade Jackass. Just because I said I don't remember a harmonic that he drew like 7 months ago does not mean that I fade Jackass. Okay. I definitely do not fade Jackass. Do not fade Jackass. Okay, enough from us. Everyone quiet except Pitvox. Pitvox. What's going on? What are we looking at? And again, maybe start like beginner level because we don't trade harmonics here really. Like some of us kind of, but you might have to catch us up to speed a little bit, okay?
Yeah, just on a quick summary, harmonics, as you know them, are basically sophisticated M and W shapes. So basically you have an M shape with Fibonacci ratios, just like Tucker said, or if it's a bearish one, like the one that Jackass showed, it's an W shape. The most famous one was the Gartley, and then some guy called Scott Carney came up and basically identified like 5 others. All of them have like animal names. For example, this is a bullish bat, and this is a bullish cipher. The two differences in between these two is that this one has a high here, and it has a different ratio coming to the bottom. But truth be told, none of that is important right now. On what I've seen people apply harmonics and on how do I apply them myself, is that they usually give you a framework to identify potential reversal zones, you know, after, for example, a long-term downtrend, just like the one that you have here on others BTC, and also the one that you have here on SUI on my right. So basically, I'm trying to apply a fractal here on others against BTC and on SUI on what happened on this summer. Although they're different are harmonics, this is a cipher and this is a bullish bat. I think that they're pretty similar right now, to be honest. because both of them had a pattern completion zone at a key inflection zone. If you go back to others BTC, you'll see how this level has been regarded both as support and as resistance throughout time. And now it was held as support in July of last year. Then this whole massive M shape took almost a full year to develop, came back down to the pattern completion zone on August and September of this year, but ultimately had a drop and potentially a lower low or a confirmation low of this massive harmonic. If you go to the SUI one,
real quick, can I ask you a question before you continue? Because I'm
Sure,
curious about this. So I see people looking at the others BTC chart. I've looked at it too. Why do you decide to use others paired against Bitcoin rather than using others dominance? Because the way that I look at it is like you're basically just excluding Ethereum from the equation at the end of the day. Like it's like you're why would you not just look at others dominance? Why would you look at, because like what are you trying to show by looking at others BTC versus others dominance?
Yeah. I just left Ethereum outside because I usually try to outperform BTC. And at some point, I think that Ethereum is due to a massive repricing. So I think that my edge on the market will be basically altcoins outperforming just your basket of altcoins outperforming BTC. But I have not checked others dominance. I'm sure it might have something similar to developing. We can look at it later on. But I just tend to look at stuff against BTC because that's what I want to outperform. And at some point, I think that Ethereum will be running hard either way. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. And I've seen its effectiveness. Like I look at both. I personally find, and they're really similar charts, I find others dominance to be a little bit more, I don't know, for me at least, like accurate, it feels like. But I mean, again, I look at both. I was just curious why you preferred others divided by Bitcoin rather than others dominance. But anyways, please continue. Sure.
So you have this massive M shape, and you had a pattern completion zone down here, a potential support, and harmonics basically give you somewhat of a potential reversal zone given the Fibonacci retracement. And when you're down here, it's easy to manage your risk and potentially just positioning yourself for going into the harmonic highs. That's like the technical target for an harmonic. It could go way up, way higher, of course. But when you're down here, you usually go for harmonic highs. But what gives you more confidence usually on harmonics is what harmonic people call type 2 return, or basically like a confirmation low, or just like an equal low. It could be a higher low or a lower low in this case, where you have like the pattern completion zone and then another test into this high inflection zone. And if actually that zone holds, then you have better odds actually of this performing if you didn't have the type 2 return. So in the case of others BTC, you have here pattern completion zone down here, and then this bullish environment for altcoins throughout September. The Fed cut rates, into October, where we had this drop on altcoins against BTC. But now what's interesting is that others against BTC is trying to actually confirm a lower low or a type 2 return on this massive bullish harmonic. And I think that's pretty similar to what happened on SUI in the summer. You have your pattern completion zone, and then the reaction, a lot of people sure got bullish on SUI, and then another drop into a lower low where you briefly fell below the inflection zone. This inflection zone is nothing else than potential support to resistance kind of area here. So you fell briefly, had a confirmation low of the massive harmonic, buyers stepped in, pushed the asset price higher, and the rest is history with SUI. You actually went into harmonic highs and actually had a resistance at harmonic highs, and you didn't stop there. You actually went into price discovery. So I'm gonna get rid of SUI for a little bit now.
Let me ask you, Pitvox, here. So first of all, thank you for the masterclass on how to use these, because I don't know how to use them. I don't use Elliott waves, and I don't use harmonics. Now, I wish I was using harmonics because I know that they work, or I don't wish to use Elliott waves because I've seen very few people actually be successful with them. Not that it's impossible, but they have deserved and they earn the name Elliott fades. But I digress. Thank you for going through this example. Do you have any setups that you're watching right now where maybe there's a bullish harmonic that still has some meat left on the bone? I see on the left here, it looks like others BTC. Maybe you're expecting this to bottom soon, if I'm looking at that correctly.
Yeah. So you want like a harmonic that it's currently playing out?
I'm going to put you in the hot seat like I do with everybody that comes on here, respectfully, of course. Tell us where price is going to go and when, and give us entry, stop loss, TP. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Leverage.
Give us the alpha, okay?
But I can give you guys that because the invalidation zone is pretty near here on others BTC. So I'll get to that. I also wanted to mention before heading into that question that you have a massive volume coming in on others against BTC. So I don't know if that's somewhat of a signal regarding that this is actually an inflection zone, or that this ultimately was just a seller strength coming in before pushing it lower. I cannot tell you that I know exactly what's going to happen. None of us do, you know, and that's why we go for TA to trying to find that better, you know, edge and better probabilistic outcome regarding what has been studied throughout years and years from people way more smarter than me. But Sui also had a high volume candle here at the low. I just wanted to say. So going to your question, if you wanted to position yourself, for example, on others against BTC, what I would do basically, just I would like, you could enter here, you set your stop loss like right below the lows from here, because if it drops lower from here, I reckon that this whole setup will be just invalidated and it won't play out. And you could be targeting, for example, this technical level above here as your first TP1, but ultimately I will be targeting our harmonic highs. Truth be told, like at least harmonic highs, and if we actually get that crazy bull market, you know, froth phase, I would also be targeting way higher prices on others against BTC, because why not? It could take longer, you know, but we could be looking at, if this actually plays out, Max, we could be looking at the stone bottom on others against BTC. So what I'm trying to say, of course, this could get invalidated. Hold on. Could get invalidated pretty quickly, you know, if you drop below here and you just take out the lows and you don't get that reaction, then this whole drawing and setup, you know, and speech that I'm actually giving will be thrown out of the window. But there is a chance that it does not, and it actually plays out. And regarding, for example, another ticker that had an harmonic that is currently playing out, and I think that you might like, maybe you don't like the ticker, but you may like what it represents. It's Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic, you could call it somewhat of a...
By the way, ETH Classic always pumps hard in like the last end part of the cycle. So, I mean, there's some signal in it. It rips when it goes.
Yeah, and I think it's at some point, this is sort of like ETH beta at this point. Like it's relying on ETH to do the thing, maybe. So what you're seeing here on ETH Classic, you have this massive bullish harmonic, you know, into an inflection zone. I don't think it is as clean as the others BTC, but you had a type 2 return here and also a type 3. So and ultimately with higher lows. So this was a massive signal. I talked to some friends on some Discords and whatnot, and I told them, like, Ethereum Classic, man, looks good. Like, call me crazy, but Ethereum Classic looks like a good RR right now. It's not that I traded Ethereum Classic. This is just as an example on what it could happen on others against BTC, right? And this basically setup is currently playing out. It's on impulse phase. No way to position yourself anymore in here. But maybe if you were down here, you could have taken along with a type stop loss and be targeting harmonic highs up here. So that's what I'm looking for on others against BTC, give or take. At least a target to harmonic highs.
Very nice. So do you have any harmonics that either have played out recently or you're watching to play out for something like Bitcoin? Or maybe even, I'd be curious to get your thoughts on ETH BTC, because I'm picturing like a bullish Gartley on the ETH BTC like monthly chart, where it's like kind of falling back in to, you know, fill in the inefficiency from last cycle. Maybe we talk about ETH BTC and then, you know, Bitcoin or even ETH, man. Like, because as you know, I don't have to tell you this or the audience, but it's like Bitcoin ultimately drives our bull market, and then ETH ultimately is going to drive our alt season. And furthermore, expanding that, ETH BTC really is like the risk on signal of the cycle. So it's like, if you'd be so kind, what do you have for ETH BTC?
Sure. We can take a look at ETH BTC. I currently don't have any kind of harmonics, but we can check on the high time frames if we have anything going on. Because, well, I'm sure you know the price action for the past year hasn't been great. And also, you can see on others BTC that most of the altcoins have been down only against BTC for the entirety of 2024. So with the exception of some altcoins, 2024 has been a bad year for altcoins. So that's what I'm hoping on that reversal. So let's see ETH BTC. Well, you're right. There could be somewhat of a bullish bat here. Let's see if we have the measurements.
Whoa, we got alerts going off, baby. Sorry, it's just the USDT.
Are we pumping, boys?
No. We are breaking that thing, though, by the way.
So this could be what you're saying, basically, Max. It would imply lower until the 886. But the thing is that when you have a bullish, for example, a bullish bad harmonic in this case, this will be your pattern completion zone. But the better edge on this playing out, like, for example, I don't have a higher probabilistic outcome of this actually coming down here. Like, I have my better probabilistic outcome once this come here and makes a reaction. The fact that you can draw this does not imply that it'll come back down here. I don't know if that makes any sense. For example, you will need to look like at a bearish W shape in order to get, like, for example, a higher probabilistic outcome. So the fact that this could be drawn as an M shape or as a bullish bat does not imply that it will actually go into pattern completion zone. When things get interesting is when you already have it at the pattern completion zone, you potentially have a type 2 return, and then this is where you position yourself with a higher probabilistic outcome, right? So you could argue that there could be some kind of bullish bad harmonic developing, you know, right now, but it's not like a certainty, or I don't have like a higher probabilistic outcome to tell you, like, okay, it's going to the 886 Fibonacci retracement level. See you at 2300, right? I don't know if that makes any sense to you on the higher time frames.
No, that makes sense. So
this could be possible, but also it could be possible that it doesn't come all the way back down here and it finds support earlier. That's what I'm trying to say.
We hope so. We hope it does that. I guess with like others, and pull up others dominance for me, because you said you haven't looked at it, so it'd be probably good to get some fresh eyes. But has it, like, from a harmonic perspective, has it bottomed kind of the same? Like, can you look at previous cycles and the way in which it bottomed, essentially, and compare?
that thing's bottomed.
Yeah. Do others?
You're not asking me, but that thing's bottomed.
Is it others? Yeah, you got it. No, I think it's bottomed too, but we need that harmonic alpha, brother. We need it.
Harmonics are always something I wish I would have learned.
You can still learn, Tommy. You can still learn.
I know it's going to take me a lot of time to learn it.
Tommy was sitting there one day and he's like staring at a book, and it's like astrology or harmonics, and he picks up the astrology one.
Yes.
Well, it is sort of different on others' dominance, but it's actually giving confluence to the others' BTC one. Because you have on the others BTC, you have your pattern completion zone up here, you know, and this will be a type 2 return. And on others dominance, you have the 851, which is almost an 886 down here. And you're basically doing consecutive higher lows, man. You could actually talk about this locally if I go into a lower time frame, although I don't do that often. You could argue that you have an accumulation setup on the 12-hour here on others dominance, because you have a low, which is your pattern completion zone, then a higher low, with a higher high regarding the previous high, and then another high, which is a 3 rising valleys potential pattern. Your breakout line for the accumulation pattern will be just above here at 9.8%. So you're showing some kind of accumulation right down here at the harmonic bottom for others dominance. It does look a little bit different than others against BTC, but you also have the same M shape.
Very nice. Now go look at 2022 or whatever, the last
Like this
man.
one.
Do we have similar confluence harmonic wise or no?
Could be a cipher. I don't know if this wick for real. I think it was. Let's see.
I don't know.
Let's see.
It looks similar to me.
It's a little bit different, the harmonic, but it could be to the 8.5. Yeah, just maybe.
How do you know what the bottom number needs to be? Do you just use like standard fib sets like 618 and 786?
You have ranges. For example, the most important one is the C to D extension. I mean, no, basically the X to the D retracement. So
but I'm saying the number in between. So see how it says 794? Like,
yeah.
Wait, am I frozen?
No, you're good.
I'm good. How do you know? Like, what number are you looking for there to confirm, if at all, if I'm even understanding this correctly? What number do you need to see between the X and the D?
And the D. So that depends on the harmonic. For example, on the bullish path that I just showed you, it's an 886 retracement. So from lows to highs, which is X to D, right? And on the cipher, it's a little bit different. It's at 78.6%. So it will be like, it doesn't need to be perfect, but it gives you some
standard fib level, like just like we use those, like the 786 and the 618, and okay. Yeah, so it is using Fibonacci sequence.
Exactly, and this could be. You could argue like I think it checks all the. I mean, you do have some differences. For example, on A to B retracement here is 0.266. It should be on the range of 38 to 61, but that could. The thing is that those could not be exact. Like it doesn't matter that they're exactly to the.
So the most important number is the X to the D.
Exactly. Like this is the one that matters the most. Like you could have some odd things, in between. You'd have like a point. Scott Carney says like you'd have like a 0.1 discrepancy. Like it doesn't matter. Even on the X to D, you could have a 0.1 discrepancy. It won't matter. But the X to D retracement is the one that actually gives you the make or break of the harmonic.
Okay, that's super helpful. All right, so you think that we are doing in similar fashion. And I don't know if you watched, did you happen to watch the video that I posted yesterday? Not Market Check, but I posted a video called Altcoins Are Bluffing. And I talked about other dominance in that video. That was yesterday. I'm not using harmonics, but I see the same structure that you're overlaying harmonics with right here. And it's kind of basically, you get like a mini alt season, while Bitcoin is bottomed out in a bear market, moving up to the all-time high, but not in price discovery yet, which is like on your chart from June through, Q1, we had mini alt season, and then Bitcoin goes into price discovery. You get a Bitcoin halving, and then you get a big altcoin sell-off, and alts get pummeled against Bitcoin. Every cycle so far, what we've seen is the following. It's like this bullish bat that you're drawing. But in my technical terms, I just say it comes back for like an aggressive higher low, right? So it looks like we're doing more or less the same kind of thing right after the Bitcoin halving, at the same time that Bitcoin is chatting in price discovery that we've done in previous cycles. And by the way, if you go back even further, you'll see the same thing 2 cycles ago. See that? Same thing right there. So we've done the same kind of pattern every time, right? I don't know if you're, we'll see. I feel like you could train yourself to get really good with these harmonics and see the numbers without even having to draw it. You know, like you could picture the pattern
Yeah,
and know if it's going to work or not.
there's some dudes that do that. I'm not that great on them. Still, I'm still learning them, but
Well,
eventually,
you're the best one on the show with them. I'll give you that. So
eventually, like there's some people that I could just look at a chart and tell you like I see 2 M shapes or 2 W shapes right off the bat, and even those people sometimes they would like, I don't know, draw M shapes that are not like a formal harmonic, but they could work either way because they have such a trained eye for this kind of reversal zones, and I don't know, it just gives you a nice framework in my opinion.
and looking at the volume you have on the bottom, I'm very encouraged to see that we kind of had a volume peak into the top of the bullish bat, and then towards the bottom, your D, you can see volume is now picking up again, which I would imagine is a kind of a confirmation signal
Yeah.
for what you're looking at as well.
That's what I was thinking, that this it's either like a big, I don't know, reaction at an inflection zone 886 retracement, or I always try to think for the invalidation of my thoughts, or this could be just seller strength. Know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, volume picking up on this downtrend that's already been established for the past year. But given the context and what BTC has been doing, and all the context that we know, I lean towards this being a reaction and just basically manufacturing a bottom here.
The way that I look at that is that there's big sell volume without price following it. It looks like sellers are getting absorbed at that price, in my view. Let me ask you this. So when you look at this harmonic that you have here, is there a way for you to prospect out a future expansion or target price from here? If we start moving up, where would be an area of interest that you would expect this pattern to play out to?
Well, you do have like the technical target for them, and there always are harmonic highs, basically. I mean, you could look at the chart, look at a historic inflection zone. For example, this top in 2017 has also been regarded as support and as resistance throughout time. So I usually I told you guys I like traditional technical analysis. So I try to look for historic zones of price action where buyers and sellers have settled and said like, okay, we have a reversal zone here, or we have a possible inflection zone. So if I had to trade basically others' dominance here, I will be, for example, like you have an inflection zone down here. You see it was a top on the DeFi summer of 2020, also held a support on 2022. So you could, I don't know, you could be targeting this one as your first take profit, although it's pretty conservative. But since this structure has been developing for over a year, like the bottom of the harmonic just basically was printed on June 2023. The pattern completion zone just was hit a couple weeks ago. I will be patient and go for harmonic highs. Truth be told.
All right, let me get some of the other guys involved because I've been hogging you, asking all the questions. Okay,
sure.
You guys don't have to ask them questions, but let's open the floor up a little bit here. Go ahead, anybody, not all at once.
I mean, you asked a lot of great questions, Max. I feel like I have to ask what we're probably all thinking. Do you have any harmonics for things like Pepe and the Boys Club?
Study.
I have a question too. Do you have harmonic on soybeans?
Oh,
no!
Please, Pitvox, if you would do us the solid. It's an honor for a guest to be able to pull up the soybean chart. It might not feel like it, but it is. If you could pull up the soybean futures chart, okay? It should be the Capital Com one right there, okay? Yep, right there. If you could pull up the soybean chart, guys, you did it. I warned you, but you still did it. Or actually, I warned you and you still did not, okay? We've got a great guest on the show today, and he's talking about some really technical strategies that we don't talk about here every single day. This is alpha. This is branching out and educating yourself in a very unconventional way. breaking the patterns that we talk about things every single day. This is good stuff. This is quality content, and it's 100% free. All you have to do is support the show. Let our guests know that you're enjoying the cook session and the alpha, that he's here taking time out of his busy day to present to you guys and help educate you. Because now, I mean, do you think he wants to be here drawing harmonics on the soybean, like lower time frames? Do you think he wants to do that? Do you think he wants to be doing that? He doesn't want to be doing that. This is painful. So do us a solid, guys. Yeah, look at this. Not gonna lie, soybeans look kind of bottom. Listen, guys, if you're enjoying the content, we live in a world where mega cap tech overlords determined arbitrarily in a boardroom and unfairly many, many years ago that the way our content gets pushed is by engagement. You have to hit that like button. You want to support us. You want to support your bags. Take one moment out of your busy market check enjoying schedule and hit that thumbs up button. And also subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Now, furthermore, I'm not done with you guys yet, okay? Because you're running the likes up. You're doing a great job, okay? We got on YouTube alone, we got 610 watching. We got 370 likes. That's pretty good. I'll give you guys that. That's like a B+, maybe an A-. It's not bad. I've also got Pitvox's X account in the description below. Now, I'm dead serious on this one. If he is not at 700 followers in the next 3 minutes, I might just cancel the show here, guys. He's 26 followers away from 700. I see some of you guys already followed him. Okay. If you haven't followed him yet, I take that personally. That upsets me in a very deep level. Okay. Because he's a guest on here and he's cooking for you guys, and he deserves to have 700 followers. Okay. That means 26 of you need to jump over to X. You need to hit the link in the description below. If you don't see the link, you need to refresh the stream. I added it late. All right. You need to go over there and you need to follow him on X, because he's going to be posting setups for you guys for free on his X account. And you can't get the harmonics from us. You might be like, well, I follow Max and the boys. That's all I need. No, it's not all you need, because we don't post harmonics. So you need to follow him. All right. So run up his X account, show him some love. All right. He's 2 away now. 2 more people need to follow him. Luckily, you got like 2 minutes before it becomes a problem. All right. Show him some love. He's earned your respect. He's shown you that he knows what he's talking about. Run him up. All right. 706. There we go. He got to 706. Good job, guys.
One of the reasons I always love having guests on Market Check is because we get to learn about things like harmonics and like ways that we don't traditionally trade. But it just kind of goes to show, it's like there are so many different ways to kind of find your own edge or find your way in markets that differ a lot from other people. So, just I think it's a great testament, like keep trying things until you find something that really fits your style.
Yep. 100%. And by the way, I'm not gonna shill this guy's X account because he's a secret weapon for me. I've never seen this guy miss on a harmonic. Okay. And Pitvox, I might share him with you after, because you're an enjoyer of the harmonics. Okay. But I know that this stuff works. And kind of like Tommy said, I wish that I had put more time into learning this. I don't really need it. Like, I found strategies that work for me, but it would be cool to add one more, weapon to the arsenal, right? All right. So Pitvox, let's see what your X account is at. 730. Okay. There you go. We ran you up a bit.
Thanks, guys.
Good job. Good job. All right. And he's also got a YouTube in his bio. He's posting daily videos. I just looked at it. So if you enjoy his X content, you can check out his YouTube as well. But anyways, we ran the likes up. We ran his X account following up a bit. The universe now feels like it's in balance. Okay. You've blessed us with likes. You've blessed him with some more followers. Pitvox, let's get off the soybeans and get back to the stuff that matters. Good job, guys.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
So back to my question. Do we have a harmonic for Pepe and the boys club?
I was trying to look at one before, Tommy, but I'm not that sure. You could be looking at a deep bat here, but right off my mind, I see something else, because harmonics are usually for some kind of like you could go to the 132. So you already exceeded like a deep bat up here. So harmonics are usually for like a reaction, like you will be looking at here, you know, going, oh, it's already a parent completion zone, then it might react. Maybe that's what happened here at the 0.32 of this deep bat. But what I see on Pepe is something different, man. I see the previous all-time high, and I see sellers not having enough strength to not even touch it, man. This is a sign of strength, in my opinion. The fact that you're putting a higher low above your previous all-time high, I think speaks volumes on market participants not giving you even a chance to get an all-time high retest. I think that's a quite the sign of strength. And I'm sure you guys know better than me. This is your best, your premium Ethereum beta. I'm a massive Ethereum bull. You know, I think it's really mispriced right now. Although, like, you could say a lot of things. You know, you could say like, oh, have you used have you compared it to Solana user experience? Like, you have to approve transactions. The gas fee is so expensive. Why not? Or the Ethereum Foundation may be selling some more. But let me tell you this, chat. BlackRock, Larry Fink. First thing first, we do have a BTC ETF thanks to BlackRock. Like Larry Fink pushed, you know, the ETF from Bitcoin, but he didn't only did Bitcoin. He also did Ethereum, right? And BlackRock has massive partnerships with Ethereum. They have massive partnerships also with Ethereum Beta, and they're building actually on Ethereum. So you're gonna tell me that you're gonna fade BlackRock on this institutional run-up on crypto? Like, you're crazy, right?
Dude,
like,
I've always said that, Pitvox, man. I've always been like, do you think that your little like Bybit perps short is somehow going to be on the right side of history when you have institutions shoving billions into crypto? And I've said this before on the show, maybe you've heard it. The total crypto asset class right now is valued less than Apple. Our entire asset class is valued less than one mega cap tech company. There's a repricing that's about to happen, and TradFi knows this.
Yeah, I think the same. And it's not like I'm putting only faith on Vitalik or whatever. I just don't care how better the user experience on Solana is. I enjoy Solana myself too, but I think that this is criminally undervalued. And you also have, I have to say this again, you have BlackRock pushing Ethereum right now. And I don't want to be fighting Solana or whatever, but I do want to point out that BlackRock has not filed for a Solana ETF yet, which shows some sign of commitment to Ethereum. So if you're thinking that this cycle will end before BlackRock selling their precious Ethereum ETF down the boomer's throat, I think you're crazy. Like, I think at some point the ETF for Ethereum will print massive volume, and it will be shown in price. So I just think that Pepe, you know, is showing signs of strength. The same as with here with Ethereum, that they were not able to tap 2100 here. It's inflection zone from history from the previous cycle, and you're just holding previous resistance and support once again. And Pepe is showing that kind of strength right now, which also like makes me talk like I know you guys talk about it a lot. But you have the boys club, you know, just being reflexive to this Pepe run. Like Pepe had this massive breakout on the Coinbase listing, and the boys club run after it. Like, you're showing reflexivity not only throughout on this range, not only through the past 6 months, but also to the upside. So like Max says, you know, your best leverage bet, you know, without the risk of liquidation for Ethereum, for BlackRock pumping your backs, is Pepe and the boys club. It's that simple.
I think as well, it's kind of funny to say out loud, but I think there are now TradFi entities outside of the ones that were already in crypto now with a vested interest to make sure that Pepe pumps. We've talked for a while about how Robinhood bought Bitstamp. Bitstamp was one of the first exchanges to list Pepe, and how that would eventually lead to Pepe being one of the first coins listed on Robinhood. So I think you have some TradFi entities who have vested interest in the success of Robinhood that are going to want to see things like Pepe do well. And I think for crypto as a whole, right? Not just ETH, but I do think eventually we'll probably have a Solana ETF. We'll probably have a Dogecoin ETF, just given the way that this cycle is beginning to accelerate. We talk about who's the next marginal buyer. Well, I think you're kind of already seeing some signs of who that could be. There are all of these massive companies looking for things to do with all of their excess cash. I think it was MicroStrategy having conversations with Microsoft. That was the headline earlier this week about potentially being the vehicle of which that Microsoft can invest some of that like 50 billion in excess cash that they have. So I kind of feel like that's where a huge chunk of capital that's going to be investing into these ETFs is going to come from. The stock market Ponzi itself just kind of, or rather Bitcoin and crypto becoming an extension of that Ponzi and probably that correlation as well over the next like 5 to 6 months, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I agree. Also, zooming out a little bit, I just think that you're doing 2016 all over again. And I was looking at this chart for the past, I don't know, 8 months. And it's pretty astonishing to me how similar it is regarding the, I know this is a 6-month candle, you know, on log mode, but you have the same thing happening on 2016, 2015, that what happened on 2024, because you have a bear market here, right? Going from 2014 to 2015, also bear market on 2022, and then into a double bottom here, right? So you have your double bottom here, also into a bullish engulfing candle. You have your bullish engulfing candle here. Then you have a 3 white soldiers pattern, right? Into a 3 white soldiers pattern, into the highest 6-month close in history, into the highest 6-month close in history, and now you're here. You're just basically here, chat. So this will be closing at the end of the year, and I think this is what we'll get on the first half of 2025.
Study. Can I show you a chart and ask you a question? Because I have no idea how to draw harmonics, but I'm trying to fit my bias, and I want to know from an expert if this is correct at all.
Sure.
Can I show you? I'm going to show you this. Now, again, I have no idea. I have no idea if this is. I just drew some 618, so 618 and 1.618. Is this shit valid or no?
Do you is the second low on Andy lower than your B point? I mean your A point?
The A, the C is higher than the A, so it's like right here. I have no idea if this is valid. I'm just, you know, I'm expecting higher, and I just use fibs that I'm familiar with. And then X to D, I got 1.618 right there. Is this valid or no?
Let me zoom in. So.
I'm just playing around.
Seems legit.
Fits my bias. We'll go with it. I have no idea if it's valid.
Yeah, I mean it does. The X to the D, that's definitely legit. The 1618 is real. It's like a deep, you know. In this case, I would think it would be a deep bat. What's your? Yeah, I think it.
That's correct.
Criteria. I think so. Yeah.
I'm doing harmonics. Look.
What's that market cap, Max? What's that market cap?
That right there is 500 mil, brother.
Ooh. Imagine the people selling that wick yesterday. Oh my god.
I tried to tweet out yesterday. I tried to say to them,
god.
I tried to say, look, you can't do this, man. This is the meme that I posted yesterday. I posted this and I tweeted it out and I said, me watching people panic sell on chain their Andy on the final pullback before billions. That's what I posted.
So I just checked Max, and it actually fits the criteria. It's not your regular bad harmonic. This will be like a bearish bat. So on D point, you could be expecting, for example, a reaction. But if you don't get the reaction, it doesn't matter. You would just have completed the pattern completion zone, like the W shape in this case. But it's just like a way of expressing like a deep harmonic. It's not like the regular one. But you can use fibs on that one.
I got you back on the chart here. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for confirming my bullish bias on Andy. I appreciate it.
I also want to show you guys something that's a little bit interesting. Since we're talking about log and monthly timeframes, I want to pull up the NASDAQ here. And I drew this like almost a year ago. So you have like just channels over channels. All of them are equally the same, length, or wide of the channel. And you can see how basically they've been respected all the way back from 86 or 85. So my point is that I don't see any resistance on the NASDAQ until you hit at about 23 to 24 thousand here. And also I pull out the P cycle bottom indicator. So this is like my bear market.
This works on SPX and NASDAQ, the Pi cycle?
Yeah, it does work.
I've never done that before. I thought it just worked on Bitcoin. All right. I like it.
So you have your red EMA of the P cycle bottom. You use it like as an EMA, or like remember that whole debate whether EMAs were support or not, like a few months ago. So we could revive that now.
They're still not support.
Okay, so
Tommy.
Just basically when you lose the red EMA and give it like a bearish retest to it, you begin a long-term downtrend, and you can see how it was respected as resistance through almost years, like 2 years. And then when you get back above it, then you're usually in the bull market once again. Then you drop below it. You drop here, you reclaim it, it's all right. Then you drop again, but had a bearish retest to it, and then a bear market, which was the subprime crisis. And then you go back above it, and you can see that you didn't have like a formal bearish retest. That basically this one and here on 2022 just basically gave you like the signal. You fell below the P cycle top EMA here, had a bearish retest to it, and then entered somewhat of a brief bear market of just one year. So my point is, like, I won't be panicking. I won't be selling my bags until I see a bearish retest to the red EMA on the NASDAQ. It's my point. Like that's how long I am right now throughout the next year. And I think that your next possible resistance might be above here at 23 to 24,000. And you could even exceed that and go to the following one at around 28 to 27,000 if things actually get crazy. So that's like a little something that I drew like a year ago that I've seen it to be respected. Like you see also the mid-range here, the hard line being respected, and also the tops of the bottoms of these channels being respected on the long term. So I wanted to.
That's nice. That's very nice. Could I ask you to take a look at tether dominance USDTD?
Sure.
Is there a bearish harmonic or anything you're seeing with this?
Max is praying for a bear.
I hate that linear line, bro.
Also, I have a question about harmonics for you. Does it change if you look at them in linear versus log mode?
I'm sorry, Tommy?
Does it change the way that you structure a harmonic if you're looking at a chart on linear versus logarithmic?
I think it does, because the fib changes, right? When you go from linear to log. Yeah, I usually do them linear, because you shouldn't be looking like a multi-year harmonic. I don't know, it might work, but I've just have not checked that out yet. I have not seen it, but who knows? The beauty of it is that you can get creative. And the creator of them, Scott Carney, I mean, not the creator, but the one who really expanded the harmonic universe. He has like some lessons up on his webpage. You can go check them out. Scott Carney, harmonictrader.com or something like that. And he shows on his classes how harmonic patterns, you can see them all over nature. Like, for example, he charts harmonics on heartbeats, whatever, like any nature, kind of a moving range.
You do say that he charts harmonics on people's heartbeats?
Yeah, I mean, if you pull up his class, he'll show you like I don't know, I can't remember this right now, but for example, the inflows or whatever of nature, and you can see that you can identify harmonics and see reversal zones. So because he's using Fibonacci, right? And Fibonacci is supposed to be like like your nature kind of model for things. So he actually does that on some nature stuff as well.
Wow. I might have to check that out. That's pretty crazy.
I remember it was fun to trade political odds as if they were a trading view chart over the last few months. A lot of these things play out very similarly. And I know that like it's a chart, so it's a little bit less, it might be a little bit less obscure than something like an actual heartbeat. But I feel like at a certain point, you just look at charts so much that you can just kind of like, it's that meme, you know, where somebody looks at the mountain ranges and they think about like their portfolio going down.
I remember when my wife was giving birth and there was the monitor with the contractions, and I was like reading it. I was like, oh, it's oversold. It's all kind of similar stuff. It really is. It's weird how that works, but yeah, I see it everywhere.
Max, this does not fit my bias, so I'll say there's no harmonic here. Although you might argue there is one. You might be at the 886 of this bat right here.
No, please, no.
I mean, it fits the criteria, you know, from A to B, B to C, and then C to D, and D to X. You do have. But the thing is that you don't position yourself for harmonics until you see the reaction. It's just if you get this, you know, and just pukes lower, it would have been a nothing burger. You just need to see the reaction, you know, at the potential support with hopefully a type 2 return, and that's when you somewhat like can get excited about it.
Well, I hope that keeps breaking down personally, but
We all
do you guys saw that Bitcoin against the SPX is on all-time highs?
yes, Jackets was showing me Bitcoin against money supply is breaking out here pretty soon as well. Hasn't reached price discovery yet, but I do think it's one of the most contextually significant charts of the cycle.
That's pretty dope.
That's crazy. All-time highs against SPOOs. I remember when we were I remember charting this at the near the bottom.
Down here back in 2022.
Yeah, I mean that was the time where everybody was. You get a bunch of like midwits calling this, you know, the end of crypto, or, but you know, you look at the chart, crypto against the S&P against the Nasdaq. Damn, this really does. This feels really, really crappy.
Yeah, this was the FTX implosion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also look at that. We're back above 97K. I want to touch upon Sol BTC, if I may.
Go for it.
Because I think there might be something cooking under the hood there. So, like I said, I like traditional technical analysis, you know, traditional patterns and whatnot. And sometimes I try to identify patterns not only on price action, but also on the histogram of the MACD or the RSI. Although that could sound a little bit normie to you or whatnot. But I think that there is a major reversal pattern being printed on Sol BTC on the weekly time frame. I'm gonna pull it up. So you can see here, you have an inverse head and shoulders on the MACD histogram already confirmed and starting to play out here. So you have your left shoulder, your head, and then your right shoulder here. You confirmed the pattern here on November 4 on this weekly close, and now you're printing positive momentum once again. And let me remind you guys, Sol BTC has been on a downtrend on the histogram since December of last year. Although throughout the year it's been going like a little bit sideways, showing some signs of potential reaccumulation, higher highs and higher lows. If you go to the MACD histogram, it paints you a different picture here. It paints you basically a reversal of negative momentum. This is implying that positive momentum might be to come on Sol BTC here, which would be basically Solana going back to outperforming BTC, which has, truth be told, has been going sideways for almost a year now on Sol BTC. And you can also check targets with this kind of things too. Do I have this? Okay, here. So you could be targeting on a technicals kind of things. You could be targeting here at least this high of positive momentum for this reversal on Sol BTC on the weekly time frame. So this could take just weeks and a month to play out and mature. BB team. So, and if you don't believe me, like that you can chart normie patterns on the MACD histogram, I'll show you a few because I've done it throughout the year. The most notorious one for me was Bitcoin dominance. You have this, look at this. You have the same thing. You have your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder. And when you confirm here the pattern, you confirm basically the inverse head and shoulders. You just have been on a massive uptrend all the way back into, all the way into cycle highs. And it's been playing out so far. I hate to find like reversal zones on Bitcoin dominance, but that actually happened. And also on BTC, I saw one on the daily time frame just when we were on that range of death. Here we have it. So you have your left shoulder here. Your right, hold on. Your head, and then your right shoulder, which basically provide you with the entry to the, if you wanted to short this or whatever, take some profits. You had this reversal just being manufactured on the histogram while the price was not showing it. So going back into Sol BTC, which I take it like as an example of altcoin strength against BTC, by the way. You go to the weekly, you can see it's right there. At your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder already confirmed and potentially starting to play out. I know this is not as exciting as a harmonics or something that might be new to you guys, but I try to keep it simple. And I think that there is a major reversal throughout that was developed throughout like almost an entire year of maybe next year having massive outperformance on Solana against BTC. And not only Solana, just like we were saying before, I think also others will be outperforming BTC here really, really soon.
I think some of these oscillators look unbelievable on a higher time frame. It's something I've been discussing in our Discord regarding the Bitcoin monthly RSI. I mean, some of these high time frame momentum oscillators are showing that the move has not even started on a higher time frame potentially. And I think that's it's a pretty scary thought when you look at that Bitcoin monthly candle and that monthly RSI and you're like, damn, above 100K, I really don't know quite where this thing stops.
I could talk about that a little bit. I wanted to
say also the ETH monthly RSI is like got so much more to give too.
I remember Max talking about this back in February or March. This is the bi-monthly, the 2-month chart. And he said the party starts above 70 on Bitcoin here. And you're way past 70 now. You're at 76 on the RSI. And if actually Tommy's prediction about diminishing cycle being a meme this time around, diminishing returns not playing out this time around, you could be definitely looking at least above 90 here or 85 on the RSI, to say the least. And a potential cool off for, I don't know, maybe I get to think you guys talked about this being vertical accumulation. I agree. I think of this trade somewhat like the ETF trade. Trump getting elected was BlackRock filing for the ETF, and Trump getting into office on January 20 might be the ETF getting approved. So you might just run up out of a speculation all the way up to January 20, where you might have somewhat of a cool off in before heading higher. And if you pull out the P-cycle top indicator, your next possible resistance might be sitting at 121K. And I thought when we were down here, I saw it like curling up still, going up. And I said like, all right, next time that it goes up, I might take a little bit of profit trying to redeploy. Why not? I'll see when we're about there because we might blast through. But I think that point, since on how fast we've been going up there, I think that maybe the P-cycle top indicator here might be an interesting area to see how BTC behaves. I don't see it stopping any earlier than that, to be honest.
We have so much time before those two lines are even gonna cross, man. If this is gonna play again, we have like 6 months minimum.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you exactly, but they are not even close to crossing yet.
Yeah, I'm looking at 2016. Like, look at how long it took. Like, you went straight up. Like, you had to go like basically straight up for these two EMAs to just come closer. So, yeah.
Imagine what puppets will be worth, Tommy.
God.
Imagine selling a puppet for like 500K.
I'll be honest,
more.
but
Yeah, more, Max. Come on.
I kind of view it as like puppets will go inevitably to 1 or 2 Bitcoin. It's just a question of what Bitcoin is topping out at this cycle. And Jack was actually the one who kind of like brought it to my attention that, you know, maybe we shouldn't be comparing it to 2020, 2021. We should be comparing it to 2017, 2018. Basically, the structure we were literally just looking at on Bitcoin. We could actually be somewhere in like May of 2017. Where obviously we had a lot, we had like another 7 or 8 months of craziness after that, and a lot more price appreciation. But it could cause the relationship between Bitcoin dominance and altcoins to be a little bit more push-pull than in 2020 and 2021, whereas we just kind of saw like a waterfall when Bitcoin dominance had finished. But I'm pretty interested to see how it goes. But I do expect Bitcoin to appreciate a whole lot more from here. In either case,
I think that this setup on Ethereum Classic is somewhat like the canary in the coal mine, telling you what Ethereum might do next. Just harmonic highs, and I don't see Ethereum Classic going into harmonic highs without Ethereum running.
And since we were just on the topic, I'm gonna steal the chart from you real quick. If we want to look at ETH in terms of, you know, momentum oscillators being stochastic monthly and then just normal monthly RSI. I mean, look at this damn chart right here.
Oh my God, Max. Look at the stochastic. What?
I know, bro.
What?
Like we are going to teleport, bro. Like monthly RSI, even if this normie meme trend line plays and it goes to 85.
That's enough.
Right. And like we have so long until that happens. And like we were talking about, like the real meat of the gains typically occur when you get monthly over 70. Right. So look at in the past when that has happened. I'll mark it out with some dots right here. You know what I mean? We're not even up in that region yet. You know, and that's when the bulk of your returns happen. I mean, last cycle, being conservative, ETH went up 500, almost 600% at that point. 2 cycles ago, it went up 10,000. I'm not expecting that, but even if we had diminishing returns from the point of when, you know, this finally crosses, ETH could be at 7K. You know, what if we saw this? You know, or this, right? It's like we have so much more to go, guys. I'm so excited.
The banana zone will be studied, Max.
They will study the
was
banana.
right.
They will study Raoul Paul's banana.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy.
Should I buy a banana puppet?
a banana.
I might buy another puppet, honestly, bro.
You can
How
have
could
mine
I,
for
as a
10
man,
Bitcoin,
not buy
Max.
another puppet? What?
10 Bitcoin for mine. You can have it.
Can I pay more?
Yeah.
The only thing I don't know with puppets is if it is more akin to a 2017 cycle. Obviously, we saw this transition into NFTs in 2020 to 2021 was kind of smooth. It came after that May crash in 2021. After that, right after Bitcoin had already dropped like 50%, then NFTs started to really catch the rotation. So I don't know if ordinals will perform into a Bitcoin parabola or after. I think that's the only question I still have in my mind, but I don't have a question that they'll perform. I just don't know.
They're in deep value here, Tommy.
Yes,
that's all
I
that
absolutely think so. Yeah.
It's going to be hilarious dumping these things at 2 Bitcoin per puppet on funds later on. It's going to be so funny.
I'm going to be dumping on, I mean, I might be dumping when guys like Pomp are like flexing it as a store of fine art on Bitcoin, or when these like hardcore Bitcoin, like I'm talking the hardcore Bitcoin maxis start buying a puppet, then it's like, okay.
You know what it's going to be, Tommy? It's going to be the Bored Apes of this cycle. Remember when Bored Apes were like, you know, people were buying them for $1 million, you know, it's going to be when it's just so ridiculous that you just have to dump them. Right? I need late cycle.
I need the normie to see I own like this autistic ketamine puppet is the price you could buy for a house.
And they're jealous.
I need the cope.
They'd rather own the puppet than the house. That's when you know.
Less maintenance cost.
And at that point, I'd rather own the house than the puppet. So
yeah,
exactly.
Or the Bitcoin.
All right, I think Soul's about to go into price discovery. That's unreal. Study MicroStrategy chart.
It's back.
If Tommy thinks that Solana is following MicroStrategy, then I don't know what Radium is doing. Just look at the outperformance to Solana here. I don't own any Radium, by the way. But
I don't think anybody owns any Radium.
It looks like Radium. This is MicroStrategy and this is BTC, right?
Why would you use Radium when you could use Jupiter, right?
I know who owns a lot of Radium. It's probably the FTX estate.
That's kind of
you don't use Radium. You use Jupiter, and Jupiter uses Radium liquidity a lot.
Yeah,
of
the pools.
Yeah,
the pools are in Radium, but it was I don't know, quite funny to see like this Radium outperformance to Solana. It's like this is MicroStrategy and this is BTC right now, sort of.
Yeah, it looks good. So, guys, we are getting into the end of the show, so I'm going to hijack this and kick it on over to our man, Tommy, to wrap us up. Tommy, don't forget to remind them where they can find Pitvox, all right?
For sure. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. It has been a great Thursday show. Shout out to Pitvox for coming on today. And like Max said, you can find his Twitter or X account rather in the description of the video. We might even post it in the comments if you're too lazy to scroll down into the description, but just scroll down into the description, make it a little bit easier for us. I know a lot of you have already followed him during the show, so thank you for doing that. He absolutely cooked for you guys today, and I definitely enjoyed seeing a little bit more behind the curtain on harmonics for sure. So thank you, Pitvox. But yeah, guys, it is time now for the end of the show. We're going to talk about a few things before we officially wrap up. First one being the BB terminal, guys. I'm going to continue to say by the end of this cycle, this will be your go-to tool, right? Whether you are an active trader in the derivatives, funding rates, open interest, etc., we have tools for you. If you are an investor looking to use things like the DCA calculator, to plan out a long-term buy and sell approach on some of your favorite assets, we have that for you. And if you are a degen looking for improvements on some of the current tools that you already use in the trenches, we will soon have that as well. So BB terminal, guys, no matter what kind of phase of the market that you are in or that you actively participate in, you will have huge utility out of the BB terminal. And we were nice enough to package the terminal with our Discord. And I do not think that there is a better Discord that you or any really group on CT or within crypto that you can be in that provides as much value as we do. We spend about 4 or 5 hours every single day with our subscribers, cooking up alpha, our thoughts on the market, both on a higher time frame and of course what we observed on a lower time frame throughout the day. So I cannot recommend these things to you enough. And like I said, we were nice enough to package these two things together at a discounted rate so that you could potentially own both of them. Of course, guys, we also have the BB Academy, and you are running out of time to be able to hone your educational base or to reach trading level mastery. I mean, as we're already seeing, the market has taken off. We are in price discovery on Bitcoin. It's only a matter of time before that altcoin outperformance really starts to begin. And you're going to be sitting there and you're like, dang, I wish that I had invested a little bit more in my education, so that I knew what to do when prices went up this aggressively, or whenever your coin is trading extremely volatilely. So I cannot recommend as well the BB Academy to you enough. You get to learn from a myriad of traders and a myriad of different styles, how we approach the market, how they trade, and ultimately how we analyze. So check that out as well. Everything I mentioned linked in the description below. Of course, maybe none of that or all of it, fits kind of what you're looking for, or to get out of this market rather. We also have another offering for you, and that is our SEC registered hedge fund, BB Wealth Management, guys. A reminder that we focus on digital assets and prioritize them in a way that looks to capture their asymmetric history for upside returns, while also balancing the downside risk posed in any financial market. So becoming an accredited investor, or LP, is something that interests you. Maybe you're interested in having the team manage some or all of your capital for you as we head into this bull market. We do have more information linked in the description below this video, so check that out. If you enjoyed Market Check, we'll be back for another episode, the final episode of the week, tomorrow around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. That is typically when we go live, Monday through Friday, whenever the New York Stock Exchange is open. I think next week we have some holidays, so the schedule will be a little bit more flexible, but we will probably communicate that next week. And of course, ahead of time, so that you guys know whether or not we'll be live. Obviously not for Thanksgiving Day, but probably, yeah, we'll figure it out. But regardless, guys, our typical start time is around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But also check out King Wabi's show. That is Market Talk. I believe it is Thursday, so he will not be live today. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, Market Talk is live through our Because Bitcoin Twitter account. So make sure to stay following both Wabi and our Because Bitcoin account, so you can be notified not just when we schedule those spaces, but of course also when we go live. But that is it from us, guys. Thank you again to Pitvox. Thank you again to all of our panelists. And of course, thank you guys for smashing the like button. We'll be back for another episode tomorrow. But until then, thank you as always, and stay safe.